Look at these sparkling, high-tech production lines. The fish oil industry is pocketing, well, $4 billion every single year. But there is a truth, and it's just completely absurd. While we're obsessed with hunting down expensive capsules, right under our feet, a trampled weed contains 64% omega-3. That number crushes the 53% found in flaxseed and leaves farmed salmon in the dust. So, why has the Western medical system ignored the greatest nutritional engine on the planet for over 100 years? Now, look back. Really look back to the Chulmoon archaeological sites of 3500 BC. You see, Perilla wasn't just a random weed. It was a foundational piece of ancient survival infrastructure. For the wandering monks of the East, this wasn't just a side dish. It was literally, it was high-octane fuel for the brain during years of silent meditation. The most sacred medical scrolls, like the Shennong Ben Kaojing and the Donghui Bogam, don't just mention it. They document 17, yes, 17 distinct life-saving uses. But the true genius of Perilla, it went far beyond the human body. It was a physical, industrial technology. Its oil was the secret ingredient that made paper umbrellas waterproof against the monsoon rains and kept the lamps burning bright in the royal courts. It wasn't just a plant, it was a biological engine of civilization itself. So, look, how does a species that literally lit up entire dynasties just disappear completely from the Western world? The answer? Well, it's buried deep within the ancient lines that, for centuries, no one has bothered to translate. Well, the first reason Perilla vanished is it's a linguistic ghost. Depending on where you stand on a map, it's called K-kaennip, Shiso, Zisu, or just Perilla. This fragmentation created a massive data silo. Take the Dongyi Bogam, for example. This medical masterpiece was compiled in 1613, but a full English translation, well, it didn't arrive for another 386 years. Think about that. Nearly 4 centuries of life-saving data just locked away behind a language barrier that Western science didn't care to climb. Now, look at the cold, hard numbers on PubMed today. If you search for fish oil research versus Perilla oil, the ratio is a staggering 37 to 1. 37 to 1! It's not that the science is blind, it's just that, it only looks where the venture capital tells it to look. Modern research isn't always a search for truth. It's often just an investment strategy. But the reason it was ultimately branded as a weed? It's actually much darker than a simple lack of funding. It wasn't ignored because it was useless. It was buried because it threatened the very foundations of the modern agricultural money machine. Think about the sheer biological defiance of this plant. A single Perilla stalk doesn't just grow, it colonizes. We're talking about 1,000 to 4,000 seeds per plant, dropping into the dirt and waiting to explode next season. Now look at that from the perspective of a $60 billion global seed industry. If a plant is self-sufficient, if it's literally infinite, well, it's a financial nightmare. You can't patent it, you can't sell it twice, and you certainly can't control it. So in the 1950s, the USDA did something surgically efficient. They branded it a noxious weed. It wasn't because Perilla was toxic to the land. No, it was because it stood in the way of the rising soybean empire. It's the exact same fate that befell white clover. You see, if a plant doesn't create a recurring profit loop, the industrial machine labels it a plague. Imagine these massive steel-toothed harvesters. These multi-million-dollar machines rolling over the earth. They aren't just farming, they are enforcing a monopoly. They spent decades trying to douse this weed in toxic chemicals, trying to erase it from the American landscape just to protect the quarterly earnings of a few conglomerates. But here's the irony. They can hide it under a mountain of regulations, but they can't shut down the laboratory of nature itself. They can try to bury it with chemicals, but, they can't douse the fire of natural evolution. Because what doctors are finding under the microscope right now, it's just going to shatter every standard the modern medical machine has ever built. Now, Look, when you zoom in on a leaf of Perilla under a high-powered microscope, you aren't just looking at plant tissue. You are looking at a precision-engineered biological fortress. Inside these cells lies a compound called rosmarinic acid. And the data here, well, it's just staggering. Clinical trials have proven it can slash allergic inflammatory responses by a full 50%. That's not just a minor improvement, it's a total system reset. And for those battling the modern epidemic of metabolic decay, Perilla doesn't just suggest a change, it enforces one. It has been shown to drop blood sugar levels by 23%. But here is where the industrial food narrative really starts to crumble. We've been told for decades to eat spinach for strength and calcium. But spinach it's actually packed with oxalates that act like a biological padlock, preventing your body from absorbing anything. Perilla, however, has almost zero oxalates. So when you take in those 230 milligrams of calcium, your body actually gets to use every single drop. Think about the sheer irony here. The pharmaceutical complex spends billions to synthesize what this leaf provides for free. They are selling you an expensive chemical subscription to a problem that nature already solved in the soil. It's a massive machine designed to keep you from looking down. But look, knowing about this biological powerhouse is one thing, but actually owning it, that's another story entirely. You have to bring this machine back to your own land. Now, look, when we talk about prepping, most people, well, they immediately think of dark concrete bunkers and stacks of dusty canned rations. But true independence? It's not about hiding from the world. It's about building a self-operating biological machine right in your backyard. And it starts with the soil. If you live in USDA zones 4 to 10, you already have the perfect canvas. You don't need a laboratory. You just need to wait for the crisp air of autumn to sow your seeds into the earth. But here is the critical part. This is where the science, it really demands your respect. When you finally harvest and move to extract that golden oil, you must use a cold press method, keeping the temperature strictly below 50 degrees Celsius. Why? Because high heat, it literally shatters the omega-3 molecules, turning a miracle oil into just another rancid fat. You see, this isn't just gardening. It's a quiet act of defiance. You are installing a system that regenerates itself every single year without a middleman or a corporate subscription. And this ability, this capacity for a tiny seed to store life and then to bloom again, season after season, indefinitely, it forces us to confront a very deep and perhaps uncomfortable truth about what we've been told we need to survive. Looking back at the long forgotten history of this plant, I think the real lesson here isn't just about nutrition. It's about sovereignty. You see, we've been trained to look at the world through the eyes of a consumer, always waiting for the next bottle, the next prescription, or the next corporate solution. But nature doesn't work on a quarterly profit cycle. It doesn't care about patent laws or marketing budgets. Perhaps deep down, we all realize that true security isn't found in a concrete bunker or a bank account. It's found in the dirt under our fingernails. When you stop seeing a weed and start seeing a 64% omega-3 powerhouse, you aren't just gardening anymore. You are taking back your autonomy. You are finally remembering what it means to be truly free. Look, have you ever wondered why something this powerful, something with 64% omega-3, has been pushed to the very fringes of our consciousness? The answer is, well, it's actually quite simple and a bit chilling. You see, in a world driven by quarterly profits, there's a cold, hard logic at play. If you can't patent it, you can't own it. And if you can't own it, you erase it. If a plant provides everything we need for free, it becomes a direct threat to the bottom line. So they stop talking about it. They label it a weed and hope you'll just forget. But here's the thing. Perilla doesn't care about financial reports or marketing budgets. It doesn't wait for a board of directors to approve its next bloom. It just persists. When you take a seed and press it into the earth, you aren't just gardening anymore. You are committing a small, quiet, but incredibly powerful act of, well, it's a rebellion. You're choosing sovereignty over a corporate subscription for your survival. You're finally realizing that true security isn't found in a plastic bottle or a digital bank account. It's found in the dirt under your fingernails. It's about finally remembering what it means to be truly free. I'll see you
In the Garden of Freedom,